everybody.
It's time for another
Big of the Week.
Hooray! It's a hot one out there.
It is really hot. The heat wave continues.
Yeah, it is not cool in here.
We are all suffering.
Just standing in front of the fan. Please don't ask us to get up.
Yeah.
JK.
You know what? Getting up, leaving the fan, and then coming back to the fan makes the fan better. So, you know, you're in it. You're like, oh, this is fine. And then when you leave, you're like, this is horrible. And then you go back, you're like, this is great.
I could do this. Yeah, doing a lot of like desk work.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's coming up?
Board game.
Board game night coming up next week. Very exciting. We had one of our attendees donate a few games, so there will be a few new ones to try. We always have attendees bring games too, which is exciting. So if you have a favorite game you want to play with us, we are down. What else? And then book club is in 2 weeks. The book is sold out. So, but if you want to come, just chat.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You got some time to read it still.
Yeah. What else is new? The building hasn't sold yet, so we'll let you know how that goes.
Somebody was supposed to be by to look at it, but then they never came. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think people are coming by all the time. People keep asking me if the business for sale. It is not.
We are not for sale. Unless you have a good offer.
Yeah. I'm open. I'm all ears. Everything in here is for sale.
Yeah.
Except the stained glass.
You wouldn't imagine how many times people ask that question.
It is very nice.
It is a lot. Do you want to get to the picks?
Yeah, what do you got?
Okay, I got... This one's really excited for. This is Tales of the Titans, #1, and it's starring Starfire. So what they're doing here, they have the new Titans team, and continuity has changed so many times that some of the lesser-known Titans, their origins are kind of up in the air. They've had so many over the years, so they're kind of like clarifying what happened to them in the past. So this one is about Starfire. And it's written by Shannon and Dean Hale. I'm not familiar with them, but this is a great book, so I'm going to keep my eye out. But it's got art by Javier Rodriguez, which is the reason I picked it up. Look at him doing the Titans. This is incredible stuff. He started out as a colorist, and it shows bold color choices, just dynamic cartooning, just some of the best stuff in the biz. They've been at Marvel for a while. Now they're making their way over to DC. They're doing a little Superman story. Now they're doing this. And yeah, so it just starts to kind of put Star on her own mission while the Titans go out and do something else. And it kind of also dives into her history because it's her people, because she's an alien, come down asking for some help with some tentacle landmines. So she goes to the moon that they're living on and starts helping them destroy these tentacle landmines and protecting Pogert. I think you can see him down here. He's a little space goat. And yeah, she's just having, a little bit of a hard time adjusting to life not as a princess, because she doesn't want to be known as a princess anymore. And this book is awesome. It's fun. It's kind of a timeless tale. It catches you up on her history and where she stands now, but also kind of gives you a whole oversight into the type of person she is. It is a really in-depth, great look at a character, and has this beautiful Javier Rodriguez artwork. They're my favorite. I'm just going to keep showing you some of these pages. They're incredible. Everything they touch is gold. And I'm more of a DC than a Marvel guy, so having them head over to Marvel or DC and start doing stuff, I just love it. Look at this. So yeah, Tales of the Titans, Starfire. I don't know who's next issue. I think it's Raven. It's a different creative team, but I'm sure they're going to knock it out of the park too. So yeah, definitely check this one out. What do you got?
Yeah, I love Pogert.
Pogert's the best.
Highlight of the book. My pick of the week is a bit of a thick one. It is, I guess, a graphic novel, Dictatorship. It's easier than you think. And so yeah, it's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek book about all the different ways that people are dictators and how they maintain their power, how they get into power, and how they maintain it. So a lot of historical examples like Hitler and Mao and Stalin, but then also a lot of jabs at current dictator type figures, like Putin, Kim Jong-un, and a lot of jabs at Trump. And I guess especially where it is a English book. It's I feel like they're trying to prepare us for the oncoming dictators that are coming. They talk about how dictators often rise up in times of civil dispute, civil unrest, which feels very now. How they turn us against the media with fake news. How they create enemies everywhere, turn average citizens into troops. So yeah, it's It's got a lot of information. It's pretty dense, but the way it's written, it's pretty funny. It's very like tongue in cheek, like, oh, if you're a dictator, this is how you do it. And I think the art just makes it like a lot more accessible to read. Yeah, just really, really kind of fun, but also like really opened my eyes. Especially like they talk about how dictators often get revised like they're in history. So like I've definitely seen a lot of stuff about like Stalin and Mao like not being that bad, and they're like, well, you know, maybe they used these symbols of the people and said that they were for the people, but in reality they were just like absolutely terrible. So yeah, definitely recommend if you're want to learn how to be aware and not fall for the dictators. This book, unless you are an aspiring dictator, then please maybe find something else to read and do with your time.
So it sounds like it's got a lot of stuff that they can learn, actually. We got our giveaway here. We got Batman Generation Joker, part of the White Knight run. Hollow's Eve, new Spider-Man villain that's on the rise. And My Little Pony, Nest of All Ages in there.
Ooh.
What do we got?
Who is our prize winner today? It's $191, Michael Phillips.
Congrats.
Awesome. Thanks everyone for tuning in.